So I think I'm going to go ahead and play around with this a little bit more. It's still wet, just to show you how much progress you can make while something is still pretty darn wet. Like this is, I just did this, a few minutes ago really, so it's still really darn wet. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what can be done with a painting while it's still pretty wet. So one thing I'm going to do is take some of this blue, bring it up. If I brought it back down here. Now normally you would start with your background forward in a proper piece of art. Proper process demands that you start background forward, so you avoid doing situations like this. Because look what I'm having to do. I'm having to go back and cut around the tree, and of course the tree color is getting into my sky, and oh no, right? So that's not ideal. That's why we start background forward. That's okay though. I'm just gonna carry on like this doesn't bother me. Alright, so I've got a little weird glumpy paint in there. I don't like that glumpy paint. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bring this around. It's gonna mix with my blue. Get an interesting neutral transition there. It's okay. What if I went up here now? What if I just like pulled this stuff down and made this weird off color in my sky, and then brought this green down? How's that green gonna look right up against this tree and what would appear to be the sky? Not sure I would like that. That's alright. You can see how these colors are changing. You're getting this pretty impressive spectrum of colors that, because I'm not bearing down on it and making them mix, making them blend perfectly well, I'm getting a really, really variable, interesting set of strokes in here, right? So, and then I'm going to go ahead and just pull some of this green down here, because I do want a little bit natural green. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Now you can see how thick the paint is. I'm not using any medium, right? So oil paint right out of the tube isn't necessarily of the proper consistency that we need. So a lot of times you end up just like with this really thick mash that you're kind of mashing around on your canvas. So that's why we use the paint thinner to start with. The paint thinner really liquefies things and makes things, gives it a much more manageable consistency for use in art. And then, what if I went up here? What if I brought this red up here? What if I just covered the whole canvas with all this extra paint that I have on here? Ooh, gloopy. Put that down. More and more and more and more. Keep going, keep going, keep going. How much am I blending any of this? Not very much, right? Because I know that once I start worrying about how this is blended and how it's really looking, then I'm just going to get your run-of-the-mill mess. Because I like these colors that are bright and highly saturated sitting right next to each other, where they're just barely integrated, but integrated in a way that really pops it. If I wanted to, I could then wipe off this brush just a little bit. All that paint really gets to it. I'm gonna bring it right up, try and bring it up right up close to this tree edge here. Yeah, that's probably as close as I'm going to get without making too much of a mess. But yeah, see, all that was wet because I had just done it. And that is the kind of effect you can get with wet oil paint. Whereas if this was dry, I would have to remake all of these colors on my palette beforehand. And then I would have to put them where I had them before to get this specific effect. And as you can see, I'm kind of working it to death now, but that's okay. It's still fun. It's a demonstration. And yeah, so there you go. I think it came out kind of interesting, actually.